The stars twinkled against the black canvas of space. Among them, a sleek vessel glided silently. Its smooth pearl-white hull reflected the distant starlight. This was the Harmony *, the pride of the Galactic Coalition's diplomatic fleet. Science Officer Zixtera stood on the observation deck. Her blue skin and large, almond-shaped eyes marked her as Novan. 3 slender fingers on each hand moved swiftly across the control panel. The strange energy signature they had detected was growing stronger. High Council Representative Elu, I believe we may have found a new spacefaring species, Zixtera said, her voice melodic and calm. The elderly Elu, with skin like wrinkled parchment, nodded slowly. In my 200 years, I have witnessed first contact 6 times. Each new species brings fresh ideas to our coalition. Proceed with standard greeting protocols. The Galactic Coalition, an alliance of 17 advanced alien species, had spread peace and cooperation across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy. In their 5,000 years of space travel, they had never needed warships. Their history books told of ancient conflicts, but those days were long gone. Why waste resources on weapons when they could build research vessels and pleasure cruisers? The unknown ship will be in visual range in 10 minutes, announced Navigator Krith, a 6-armed Belanxi whose species excelled at spatial calculations. Far across the void, aboard the U.S. Valiant Captain Alan Summers sat in his command chair. At 42, Summers was one of Earth's most respected space officers. His short brown hair showed touches of gray at the temples, evidence of 15 stressful years commanding ships on the frontier. Lieutenant Commander Wright, report on that anomaly, he ordered. Olivia Wright, the ship's tactical officer, frowned at her console. Her dark skin contrasted with the blue light of the displays. Sir, it's definitely a ship, but unlike anything in our database. It's big, nearly twice our size, but the energy readings are puzzling. If I didn't know better, I'd say it has almost no weapon systems. Chief Engineer Mason Clark spoke up from his station. Captain, their propulsion system is fascinating. They're using some variation of fold space technology we've only theorized about. Whoever they are, they're advanced. The U.S. Valiant was humanity's answer to the unknown dangers of space. Earth had united after decades of conflict, but humans had carried their cautious nature to the stars. Every exploration vessel doubled as a warship. The Valiant with its reinforced hull and hidden weapon arrays, could switch from scientific research to battle mode in seconds. Communications Specialist Gardner, any transmissions? Summers asked. Samantha Gardner adjusted her headset. Her fingers flew over her console as she analyzed incoming data. Nothing we can understand yet, sir, but there's definitely a signal being directed at us. It's repeating. Yellow alert, Summers decided. Raise shields, but keep weapons powered down. First contact protocols are in effect. The crew tensed. Humanity had established colonies on Mars, Europa, and recently on Proxima Centauri, but had yet to encounter intelligent alien life. They had prepared for this moment with countless drills. Back on the Harmony Zixtera watched the human ship with growing concern. Their energy signature just changed dramatically. They've activated some kind of barrier system. Are they hostile? Asked Elu. Unknown, but their design is concerning. Zixtera zoomed in on the image. The human ship was dark gray, angular, and compact. Unlike the Coalition's elegant, efficient vessels, this ship had thick armor plating and what appeared to be concealed ports along its hull. It appears built for conflict. Perhaps they evolved differently, suggested Krith. Not all species reach the stars through the same path we did. Zixtera nodded, sending universal greeting package on all frequencies. Mathematical sequences, basic chemistry, and peaceful imagery. On the Valiant alarms suddenly blared. Multiple targeting locks, shouted Wright. They're scanning every inch of our ship with focused energy beams. Red alert. Summers stood up, eyes fixed on the view screen. Charge weapon systems, but hold fire. Gardner, keep trying to communicate our peaceful intentions. The first meeting between humanity and the Galactic Coalition was not going as either side had planned. The bridge of the U.S. Valiant was bathed in red emergency lights. The crew moved with practiced efficiency, despite this being humanity's first alien encounter. Weapons hot, shields at maximum, Lieutenant Commander Wright reported. Her eyes never left the tactical display where the alien vessel loomed large. Sir, their energy output just increased again. Captain Summers stood firm, his jaw tight. Gardner, any luck breaking through their communication? No, sir. Samantha's fingers flew across her console. I've tried all standard frequencies and protocols. Wait, I'm getting something visual. The main screen flickered. A face appeared that made several crew members gasp. The alien had blue skin, large eyes with no visible pupils, and a crest of what looked like short tentacles instead of hair. Record everything, Summers ordered quietly. Gardner, run translation programs. On the Harmony Zix Terra felt a flutter of excitement as the human vessel responded to their communication attempts. Visual connection established, she announced. The screen showed a room filled with beings who looked remarkably similar despite their color variations. They had flat faces, small eyes, and strange fur patches on some of their heads. Fascinating, murmured Elu. They appear to be mammals. Zix Terra initiated the universal greeting, raising her hand palm outward in the gesture that 17 species had all independently recognized as peaceful. We are the Galactic Coalition, she said slowly, knowing her words wouldn't be understood yet. We come in peace and friendship. On the Valiant the aliens' gestures were being analyzed in real time. The raised hand might be a greeting, suggested Gardner, similar to many Earth cultures. Engineer Clark spoke up from his station. Captain, I've been analyzing their ship during this exchange. It's bizarre. They have incredible propulsion technology, but their hull would crumple under our weakest weapons. No significant armor, minimal shield capability. That can't be right, Wright said, frowning. Why would an advanced species travel without proper defenses? Summers considered this. Perhaps they evolved differently, without our history of conflict. He stepped forward and raised his hand, mirroring the alien's gesture. I am Captain Alan Summers of the Earth vessel Valiant *. We mean you no harm. The alien on screen tilted its head, clearly not understanding his words. But it seemed pleased by his gesture. Back on the Harmony Zix Terra's instruments were providing troubling information. The human vessel's energy readings are concerning, she told Elu. They maintain power levels that our ships only reach in emergency situations, and these concentrated energy nodes, she pointed to her screen, appear to be weapon systems more powerful than anything in our defense fleet. Krith, the navigator, peered over her shoulder. Perhaps they're merely cautious. New species often approach first contact with defensive postures. This goes beyond caution, Zix Terra replied. Their ship is designed for combat. Look at the hull configuration, reinforced at strategic points with what appear to be weapon ports covering all angles of approach. No civilian vessel would be designed this way. Elu's ancient eyes narrowed. In all my years, we've never encountered a species whose first venture into deep space was aboard a warship. Even the most territorial races sent explorers first. On the Valiant the translation programs were beginning to decipher basic patterns in the alien language. Sir, Gardner reported, I'm starting to get something. Very basic, but they're repeating words that seem to mean peace and talk. Summers nodded. Good. Right. Lower our weapons to standby but keep shields up. Let's show some good faith. Captain. Wright objected, standard protocol says. I know the protocol, Lieutenant Commander. Summers interrupted gently. But sometimes first contact requires flexibility. They could have attacked already if that was their intention. The tension on the bridge eased slightly as the weapons powered down. Across the void, Zix Terra noticed the change immediately. Their weapon systems are powering down, though defensive barriers remain active. A gesture of trust, Ilu said, nodding approvingly. Respond in kind. Deactivate our scanning beams. But those are just scientific instruments, Zix Terra protested. Which they clearly interpret as threatening, Ilu pointed out. We must adapt to their perspective. As both ships cautiously reduced their perceived threatening postures, the real communication was about to begin. And with it, revelations that would change the galaxy forever. 6 hours passed as both ships maintained their positions. The translation programs on the U.S. Valiant worked overtime, processing the alien language patterns. Captain, Gardner called out, excitement in her voice. The translation matrix has reached 60% confidence. We can attempt real communication now. Summers nodded. Put it through. The blue-skinned alien appeared on screen again. When she spoke, the computer translated her words with only a slight delay. I am Science Officer Zix Terra of the Galactic Coalition vessel Harmony *. We welcome you to this region of space. I am Captain Alan Summers of the Earth ship Valiant *. We are pleased to make contact with you. Zix Terra tilted her head. Your vessel has caused much confusion among our crew. May I ask its purpose? Summers exchanged glances with Wright before answering. The Valiant is a patrol and exploration vessel. We protect human interests while searching for new discoveries. The alien's large eyes widened. Protect. From what dangers do you require such extensive defenses? The question caught Summers off guard. From any potential threats, space is vast and unknown. On the Harmony Zix Terra turned to Ilu with concern. They built warships before even knowing if threats existed. Ilu stroked his chin thoughtfully. Their evolution must have been shaped by different pressures than our own. Ask about their history. Turning back to the screen, Zix Terra spoke carefully. Captain Summers, the Galactic Coalition comprises 17 species who have traveled the stars for thousands of years. In all that time, we have never needed dedicated war vessels. Our ships are designed for exploration, trade, and diplomacy. The human crew exchanged shocked glances. You have no warships? Wright asked, unable to contain her surprise. How do you defend yourselves? Defend from whom? Zix Terra replied simply. Most intelligent species outgrow warfare before achieving space travel. Those few exceptions quickly learn that cooperation brings greater benefits than conflict. Engineer Clark leaned forward. That's why your ships have such advanced engines but minimal defenses. You never needed to build them. Correct, Zix Terra said. Your vessel contains weapons that could destroy our entire diplomatic fleet with ease, yet you speak of them as routine precautions. A heavy silence fell over the Valiant's bridge. Would you permit a small delegation to visit your ship? Summers asked finally. I believe we have much to learn from each other. After brief consultation with Ilu, Zix Terra agreed. 3 hours later, Zix Terra, Ilu, and Krith stood in the Valiant's main hangar bay, marveling at what they saw. Unlike the flowing, organic design of coalition ships, everything here was built with purpose and efficiency. No space wasted, no function without backup systems. Captain Summers led them on a tour, carefully avoiding restricted areas, but showing enough to convey human capabilities. This is our medical bay, he explained, leading them into a room filled with equipment. Zix Terra examined a surgical robot with interest. Impressive, though not as advanced as our healing chambers, but built to function during battle, Wright pointed out, with backup power, electromagnetic shielding, and impact dampeners. The aliens exchanged troubled looks. In the ship's mess hall, they sat together at a table. Ilu, as the senior diplomat, spoke directly to Summers. Captain, we must understand. Your species has achieved faster-than-light travel, Yet you still prepare for war as if it were inevitable. Why? Summers considered his words carefully. Humanity's history is filled with conflict. Different tribes, nations, ideologies fighting for resources and power. Even when we united to reach the stars, we carried that caution with us. Yet you have not attacked us, despite your overwhelming advantage, Ilu observed. Of course not, Summers said, surprised. Humanity seeks peaceful contact, but we prepare for the possibility that not everyone shares that goal. Zixterra looked troubled. And now the galaxy must adjust to a species that combines advanced technology with military might we haven't seen in thousands of years. Is that a problem? Wright asked. Ilu's ancient eyes met hers. It changes everything, Lieutenant Commander. For better or worse, the balance of power in this sector has just shifted dramatically. As if to emphasize his point, a priority alert chimed on both Zixterra's communicator and Summers' wrist device. The peaceful first contact was about to be interrupted by events that would test both their philosophies. Captain Summers checked the alert on his device, his expression growing serious. We're receiving a transmission from Earth Command. Admiral Nickel Peters wants to speak with me immediately. At the same time, Zixterra's communication device projected a small hologram of a stern-looking alien with ridge-like features. Council Elder Moza requires an urgent report, she said, glancing at the humans. Both parties excused themselves to private communications. In a small conference room off the main hall, Summers faced the stern image of Admiral Peters on the screen. Captain, your first contact report has created quite a stir here at command, the Admiral said. Her gray hair was pulled back in a tight bun, her uniform perfectly pressed. A spacefaring civilization with no concept of warfare. Are you certain about this assessment? As certain as I can be after brief contact, Admiral, Summers replied. Their ships have practically no defensive capabilities. Their most advanced vessel could be disabled by our lowest-powered weapons. Admiral Peters leaned forward. This changes everything, Captain. The Coalition controls vast territories with resources that could benefit Earth. And if they're as peaceful as you suggest, they might be vulnerable to less diplomatic species. What are my orders, Admiral? Maintain positive relations. I'm dispatching Dr. Eric Russell, our top xenodiplomat, to join you. The *Defiant* and *Resolute* will escort him. Just as a precaution, you understand. Summers frowned slightly. 3 human warships might send the wrong message to a peaceful species. Admiral, or exactly the right one, Captain, Peters replied. Sometimes a show of strength prevents misunderstandings later. Russell will arrive in 48 hours. Peters out. Meanwhile, Zixterra faced the projected image of Council Elder Moza, whose ridge-like features were drawn in concern. A warship. As their first deep space vessel, Moza sounded incredulous. This is unprecedented. Yes, Elder. They call it a patrol and exploration vessel, but its primary purpose is clearly military, Zixterra reported. And their weapons capabilities. Far beyond our defensive measures. Their smallest weapons could disable the Harmony with a single shot. Moza's ridges darkened, a sign of deep concern. The full council must be informed. I've called an emergency session. Return to the ship and prepare a detailed report. There is something else, Elder, Zixterra added. Despite their military focus, they have shown no aggression. They seem genuinely interested in peaceful exchange. Warriors who seek peace. Moza sounded skeptical. Perhaps for now. Return to your ship, Science Officer. We will decide how to proceed. Far from both vessels, on the edge of Coalition space, a sleek, predatory ship lurked in the shadow of an asteroid. Its dark hull absorbed light rather than reflecting it. Inside, a reptilian figure with scaled skin and amber eyes viewed intercepted communications with great interest. So the Coalition has met warriors at last, Captain Drez of the Draxis battle cruiser hissed to his second-in-command. How convenient for us. The Draxes had long been contained by the Coalition's superior numbers, despite having similar technology. For centuries, they had raided isolated outposts, but never dared a full attack against the 17 united species. These humans sound formidable, his second-in-command, Vex, noted. Perhaps. Drez's thin lips curved into what passed for a smile among his kind. Or perhaps they merely have better weapons, not better warriors. Either way, this changes the balance of power. He tapped a clawed finger on the arm of his command chair. Send word to the High Command. The Coalition's attention is divided. It's time to test their new friends and see what these humans are truly made of. Vex bowed. Where shall we strike, Captain? Drez studied the star chart. Here. The research outpost on Kelmar. Small, valuable, and only lightly defended. And close enough to where this human ship was detected that they might respond. And if they do, Drez's amber eyes gleamed. Then we'll know exactly what kind of warriors they are. Prepare the fleet. We attack in 3 cycles. As the Draxis ship slipped away, both humans and the Coalition remained unaware that their first contact was about to be tested in fire. 2 days later, the space near the U.S. Valiant rippled as 2 more human ships emerged from faster-than-light travel. The Defiant and Resolute were slightly smaller than the Valiant but shared the same angular armored design. From the observation deck of the Harmony Zix Terra watched with growing concern. 3 warships now. Is this what they consider a diplomatic delegation? Ilu stood beside her, his ancient eyes troubled. Perhaps this is simply their way. Remember, they evolved differently. On the Valiant's bridge, Captain Summers welcomed Dr. Eric Russell, a tall man with kind eyes and graying temples. Despite his civilian status, Russell carried himself with the confidence of someone used to difficult situations. Captain, thank you for the welcome, Russell said, shaking Summers' hand. I understand I've missed quite the first contact scenario. You could say that, Doctor, Summers replied. The Coalition has 17 spacefaring species, and not a single dedicated warship among them. Russell raised his eyebrows. Remarkable. And how have they reacted to our military preparedness? With concern, naturally, Summers said, but also curiosity. They've agreed to a formal meeting aboard their ship, the Harmony I'd like you to join Lieutenant Commander Wright and me. Hours later, the human shuttle docked with the Harmony Stepping aboard, the humans immediately noticed the differences. Where human ships were functional and compact, Coalition vessels emphasized space and comfort. The ceilings were high, the corridors wide, and plants grew in small alcoves throughout. It's like a flying garden, Wright whispered. A Coalition delegation led by Ilu welcomed them to a large meeting room. Representatives from 3 species were present. The blue-skinned Novans, the 6-armed Bilanxi, and the ridge-faced elders of a species called the Jorathi. Welcome to the Harmony Ilu said with a formal bow. We are pleased to continue our dialogue. Dr. Russell stepped forward. The pleasure is ours. I am Dr. Eric Russell, diplomat of Earth. We are eager to learn more about your Coalition and share knowledge of our own civilization. The meeting progressed well. The humans explained Earth's history and their cautious approach to space, while the Coalition members described their 17-species alliance and its peaceful expansion. During a break, engineer Mason Clark found himself talking with Krith, the 6-armed Bilanxi navigator. Clark marveled at how Krith could manipulate multiple tools simultaneously. Your physical capabilities are remarkable, Clark said. You would make an incredible engineer. Krith's face slits, which humans had learned were his equivalent of a mouth, curved upward. I am impressed by your ship designs as well. Your backup systems have backup systems. Redundancy is key to survival, Clark explained. Especially when you're far from home. Perhaps we could show each other our engine rooms sometime, Krith suggested. Clark smiled. I'd like that. In another corner, Lieutenant Commander Wright found herself in conversation with Zixterra. Your sensors detected our arrival from incredible distances, Wright noted. That technology could be very useful. Yet you tracked the small Draxis scout ship that passed nearby yesterday before our systems even noticed it, Zixterra countered. Your tactical systems are impressive. Wright looked surprised. Draxis? A species at the edge of Coalition space, Zixterra explained. Not members, but not usually hostile either. Mostly they keep to themselves. Before Wright could ask more questions, alarms blared throughout the Harmony *. A young Novan rushed into the meeting room. Elder Elu. The research outpost on Kelmer is under attack. They've sent distress signals. It's the Draxis. The Coalition members looked shocked and confused. Elu turned to his communications officer. How many Draxis ships? At least 5, Elder. The outpost defenses are failing. There are 200 researchers there, including children. Wright's eyes met Summers. Without words, they shared the same thought. Captain Summers stepped forward. Elder Elu, the Valiant Defiant and Resolute stand ready to assist. With your permission, we can be at Kelmer in less than 2 hours. The room fell silent as the Coalition members exchanged uncertain glances. Dr. Russell watched carefully, understanding that this moment would define human-Coalition relations for generations to come. Elu looked at the human captain, conflicted between Coalition principles and the lives at stake. You would fight for people you've just met. That's what friends do, Summers replied simply. The moment stretched as Elu considered Captain Summers' offer. Around the room, Coalition representatives whispered among themselves. Some looked worried, others outright opposed. Finally, Elu spoke. The Coalition has maintained peace for 5,000 years. We have handled the Draxis before through diplomacy and patience. With respect, Elder, Wright said, checking her tactical pad. The distress call indicates 5 heavily armed ships. This isn't a border dispute. It's an invasion. Zixterra stepped forward. Elder, there are children at that outpost. Coalition defense ships would take 6 hours to reach Kelmer. By then, she didn't finish the sentence. Elu closed his eyes briefly. When he opened them, they held new resolve. Captain Summers, the Coalition accepts your assistance, but I must accompany you. As will I, Zixterra added. 20 minutes later, the 3 human warships broke formation and jumped to FTL speed. On the Valiant's bridge, Elu and Zixterra watched in fascination as the crew executed battle preparations with practiced efficiency. Weapons status, Summers called out. Main cannons at full charge. Missile bays ready. Point defense grid active, Wright reported crisply. Engineering. Engines at combat power. Shields at maximum. Damage control teams standing by. Clark's voice came through the comm system. Elu leaned toward Zixterra. They do this so naturally. It's disturbing, she whispered back. Yet at this moment, I'm grateful for it. The journey to Kelmer took just under 2 hours. As they dropped out of FTL, the scene that greeted them was grim. The research outpost, a beautiful collection of domed structures on a small moon, was partially in flames. 5 predatory Draxis ships surrounded it, firing periodically at defensive shields that were clearly failing. Coalition vessels detected. The Draxis commander Drez hissed to his bridge crew. As expected, He stopped abruptly as his tactical officer interrupted. Captain, these are not Coalition designs. These are the human ships. Drez's scaled face showed momentary surprise before he regained composure. Interesting. The rumors were true. Let us see what these humans are capable of. Continued the assault. On the Valiant Summers assessed the situation quickly. Right. Analysis. 5 enemy vessels, sir. Their weapons are continuing to target the outpost shields, which I estimate will fail in less than 10 minutes. Life signs indicate approximately 200 coalition members still alive in the central structures. Summers turned to Elu. Elder, with your permission, we will engage the Draxis forces. Elu looked troubled but nodded. Save our people. But please, minimize loss of life where possible. Even the Draxis. Understood. Summers activated ship-wide communications. *Defiant*. *Resolute*. Assume attack pattern Delta. Target engines and weapons systems if possible. Avoid reactor hits. The human ships moved with surprising speed for their size, splitting formation to approach from 3 different vectors. The Draxis, caught off guard by the unexpected tactics, scrambled to reorient their defenses. They're splitting up, Vex reported to Dres. This is not standard coalition strategy. Adapt. Dres snarled. Focus fire on the lead vessel. The Draxis ships fired a volley of energy weapons at the *Valiant*. The shots connected with the human ship's shields, creating ripples of blue energy. Shields holding at 87%, Wright reported calmly. Their weapons are powerful, but not penetrating. Return fire, Summers ordered. Targeted strikes only. The *Valiant's main cannons fired with precision. The first shots disabled the weapons array on the lead Draxis ship. The *Defiant* and *Resolute* followed suit, each targeting a different enemy vessel. Zixtera watched in amazement as the humans operated with a level of military coordination she had never witnessed. Their tactical systems are incredible, she murmured to Elu. They're disabling the Draxis ships without destroying them. On his ship, Dres grew increasingly frustrated as system after system failed. What kind of weapons are they using? How do they target our propulsion so precisely? Captain, Vex reported urgently. 2 of our ships have lost all weapons capability. Another has lost engines. They're requesting permission to retreat. Dres hissed in anger, but was no fool. Signal all ships. Withdraw immediately. As the Draxis ships that could still move began to retreat, Captain Summers ordered his fleet to stand down from offensive operations. We did it, Wright said, a note of pride in her voice. Indeed, Summers replied, turning to the coalition representatives. Now let's help those people down there. 1 month after the battle at Kilmer, Captain Summers stood in the Grand Council chamber on Earth. The massive room was filled with representatives from both human colonies and all 17 coalition species. The ornate ceiling soared overhead, with light streaming through tall windows. Admiral Peters stood at the podium, her uniform decorated with formal medals. Beside her, Elder Elu represented the coalition. Between them sat a document that would change the course of galactic history. Today marks a historic moment, Admiral Peters said, her voice carrying throughout the chamber. The signing of the Earth Coalition Defense and Cooperation Treaty. Summers glanced at Zixtera, who stood nearby with her own delegation. The blue-skinned alien had become a friend over the past month. They had worked closely together after the rescue mission, helping the survivors and planning for the future. The attack on Kilmar proved that peace requires readiness. Elder Elu said to the gathered representatives. For 5,000 years, the coalition maintained harmony through diplomacy. But the galaxy is changing. The Draxis would not have dared such an attack before. Humanity offers our military experience and protective capabilities. Admiral Peters continued. In return, the coalition will share their scientific knowledge and cultural wisdom. Together, we are stronger than apart. In the audience, Engineer Clark sat next to Krith. The two had spent weeks exchanging technical knowledge. Clark had learned about coalition faster than light drives, while Krith had studied human shield technology. Do you think it will work? Krith asked quietly. Our peoples are so different. That's why it will work, Clark replied with confidence. We complement each other. Lieutenant Commander Wright, now promoted to commander, stood at attention near the podium. Her tactical expertise during the Kelmar rescue had earned her recognition from both humans and the coalition. She would soon lead the training program for the First Joint Defense Fleet. Dr. Russell watched from the side of the chamber, a satisfied smile on his face. The diplomat had worked tirelessly to bridge cultural gaps during the treaty negotiations. What had begun as a tense first contact had transformed into something extraordinary. After the formal speeches, Admiral Peters and Elder Illu signed the treaty. Applause filled the chamber as they shook hands, sealing the alliance. At the reception afterward, Captain Summers found himself standing with Zix Terra on a balcony overlooking the city. "Your world is beautiful," she said, looking at the sunset painting the sky in shades of orange and pink. "So full of life and energy." "Different from Coalition worlds?" Summers asked. "Yes, there's a vibrancy here. Perhaps it comes from your history of struggle." She turned to face him. "The Council has approved the design for our first joint vessel. They're calling it the *Concordat*. Unity in purpose," Summers translated with a smile. "A good name. It will combine our propulsion systems with your defensive technology, a new kind of ship for a new era." Zix Terra paused. "They've asked me to serve as science officer, and they want you as captain." Summers looked surprised. "Me? Who better? You understand both worlds now." Later that evening, as the celebration continued, Admiral Peters pulled Summers aside. "I'm promoting you to Commodore, Helen. You'll oversee the integration of the First Joint Fleet." Her expression grew serious. "The Drexes have gone silent since Kelmar. Our intelligence suggests they're building up forces. They didn't expect humans in this sector, and it scared them." "Good," Summers replied. "Fear might keep them peaceful for a while." "Perhaps. But the galaxy is changing fast. The Coalition isn't the only power out there. We need to be ready." 6 months later, the *Concordat* launched from Earth's orbital shipyard. Its sleek design combined the best elements of both civilizations, the elegant efficiency of Coalition technology with the robust defensive systems of human ships. On the bridge, Commodore Summers looked at his mixed crew, humans and aliens working side by side at their stations. Commander Wright at Tactical, Krith at Navigation, and Zix Terra at the Science Station. "All systems ready, Commodore," Zix Terra reported with a smile. "Then let's make history," Summers replied. "Set course for deep space. The future is waiting." As the *Concordat* accelerated away from Earth, it represented more than just a new ship. It was the beginning of a new age. The day aliens first encountered a human warship had indeed changed everything. But in ways no one could have predicted, for the benefit of all.